All right, so welcome everybody to the fourth of our After Dark series. If you don't know me, I'm Amy Chaco. I am the current president of New England Hymns. Just real quick for logistics, the way this event is going to go, Bob will explain it, but one of the things I will be asking is that if you did not log on with your full name, could you please do that? So that way I will be able to find you when we need to do our stand-up portion of the event. So if you do not show me your full name, then I might reach out to you directly over chat to ask you what your full name is. And this will also allow me to check you in for our event. This event will be recorded and shared out to folks who have signed up for the event itself. So that's all I'm going to say for logistics. So Bob, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. So first of all, thanks everybody for showing up, and thanks so much for all of my friends and what feels like family some days at New England Hymns, and especially to Amy and Matt, who have agreed to do the heavy lifting tonight. As Amy said, this is our fourth and final event for the year for New England Hymns After Dark. And we're very pleased to be having joined us with Joanne Kleindenst, who I've known for a bunch of years and is the Vice President of Professional Development at Hymns, and is going to talk to us, as you can see, about Healthcare Journey Map. And Joanne actually has a slide in there talking about her bio, so I'm not going to give her a lot of bio information right now, as she's going to do it already on her own. But a couple of quick words about tonight. And I'll speak a little bit more about this in a few minutes when we get past the introductory talk and we're into the stand-up portion of it. But first of all, have fun. Tonight's an opportunity to get to know new people, get an opportunity to tell people about yourself, ask questions, meet new people. I don't know if Joanne's going to talk much about networking, but tonight's all about networking. It's all about having an opportunity to meet new people and have new people meet you. So just enjoy. We'll give more details about that in a minute, but Amy and I will sort of help you guide this process tonight. So Amy and Matt are going to coordinate efforts. And I am going to ask Joanne to start her slides, and I appreciate her participating.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Bob, and thank you so much, Amy. It certainly is a pleasure for me to be here. And just a word about networking. You see all these initials after my name. They all have a strategic purpose, but what a great way to meet people, because it's almost like music is an international language. These certifications, they all mean something to someone somewhere. So they're a great conversation starter. And I certainly would highly encourage you, if you don't have a professional certification, whatever area is your specialty, that you do consider seeking one. But again, such a privilege and a pleasure for me to be here. Just a little bit about me. I'm a 30-year member of Hymns as of April 1st. No fooling there. And my application for Life Fellow of Hymns goes before the Hymns board tomorrow for approval. So I'm very, very excited. I hail from the local community hospital setting. I've been a Hymns volunteer and an engaged volunteer for many, many years. And that's the key, engaged volunteers. And I'm approaching my 15th year anniversary with Hymns. I do encourage you to make a note. Should you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. I will try to watch the chat as well as your comments. And there's my buddy, Mary Griskowitz. Mary, it's so great to see you again, as so many others on the line here that I do know. So we're going to take a brief look at professional development, take a look at the jobs that are out there, look at the importance of developing your plan, your career journey map, and jobs abound. And you'll see I'm going to be talking about, jobs are everywhere. But if you don't know what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at and what you're not good at, your job search could be very futile. So I'm here to give you some tips and techniques on how to apply structure into the job search process, even if you're not searching for a job. And I think this last 14 months that we've all come through together certainly, indicates that you just never know when an opportunity or a challenge will present yourself. So I hope to inspire you today. I'm very excited once again to be here with you, and let's have some fun. So what I promised was that I would help you define a plan. I would also, for both the known and the unknown, and both the challenges and the opportunities. I'll talk about some tools that exist that can help you capture those critical career defining details and help you not only to understand the details that are so personal to you, but to help make sure that you are prepared every step of the way. And oh, by the way, one of the tools I'm going to talk about, I created through my own continuing professional development, and I will talk with you a little bit about that in just a moment. So as a reminder, our vision with Himss is to realize the full health potential of every human everywhere, as well as reforming the global health ecosystem through the power of and. That's the power of health, information, and technology. The Himss Professional Development Department, who we are, we connect, we educate, and we understand. And for those of you that are astute, know that equals CEU, which is continuing education units. So everything that we do, we seek to educate, excite, encourage, and energize our members and non-members alike. Our hashtag is ProfDevForLife. Although not official, an official hashtag of Himss, it sure is official as far as I'm concerned, because I use it all the time. So let's take a look at the jobs outlook as related to healthcare. So when I was preparing for this, I did some research and I took a look at things. So this is a really good report done by the World Economic Forum, and I did provide the source so that you can go ahead and access this if you'd like to take a look at it. This highlights what is increasing in demand and what's decreasing. And as I look over the list, I'm not really seeing a whole lot that screams healthcare. In the next slide, you will see that. But what I do see is there's data analysts in healthcare. There's AI in healthcare, big data, marketing, process automation, process improvement. The list goes on and on. So even if you don't see, if you have an interest that's not specifically in one department of a healthcare setting, there are ways that you can adapt your skill sets and abilities to a healthcare setting if that's an industry that's new to you. And if not, what a great way to really expand and excel with all the opportunities that are available from our market supplier perspective, from our provider perspective, and whether it's an integrated healthcare delivery network or even a physician practice. The opportunities are absolutely endless. And that's one of the reasons you see so many credentials at the end of my name. I'm a project manager. I did that in case this healthcare thing at Doylestown Hospital didn't work out. Well, that was 31 years ago, or how, let's see, 15 plus 16. So yeah, 31 years ago. One of my latest certifications is a CPTD, and I swore there would not be another one. And then COVID hit, and here you go. That is, I'm a certified talent development professional as defined by the Association for Talent Development. And I searched for years and years trying to find my Himss of the professional development world. And I found it through the Association of Talent Development. But my point is, regardless of whether you're in a healthcare setting or you're kind of sort of not in a healthcare setting, being aware of what the current industry demand is, how things are pivoting, and what the trends are, it's critical to your future success, even if you are not looking for a job. So this is another site I wanted to reference. This is the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So these are their fastest growing occupations. So I took an opportunity to highlight in their top 20 which of those relate specifically to healthcare. So there's a lot of promise here. And that's, again, what's so great about healthcare, because you get your foot in the door, you find that you enjoy health information technology, you're in the IT department, but you want to specialize. So you have finance, you have administration, you have interprofessional opportunities. It's just fabulous, the opportunities that are out there. But again, you need a plan to know where you're headed and what you like and what you don't dislike, or what you don't like. So what I've done here, I've just taken some highlights to show you some of the quick facts that this occupational outlook handbook will show you. And this is pretty helpful. So mathematicians and statisticians, you really don't think about that in healthcare, but guess what? Some of the academic medical centers, have teams of folks that just are looking at the data, as do data statisticians and data analysts and things of that nature. Medical and health services managers, you want to run a practice, you want to run a department, well, here you go. This is 2019 median pay. And then the same with nurse anesthetists, nurse midwives, and nurse practitioners. So there's a little bit of a range here, but again, I provided you with the URL to help you take a look at what I've talked about. So job boards abound, for heaven's sakes, be prepared. There's a top 10 list of the best job websites. Those are on the left. So some of them are very familiar. Snag a Job, I never heard of it. Angel List, that is for startups, it's fabulous. Balance that with Joanne's curated list to the right. Of course, JobMind's one of my favorites. It's where I go to do my research on what is the details of the current trends of particular positions. Even though Mara Diker and her team of many volunteers do a great job with assimilating job descriptions, every once in a while I head out to the JobMind to take a look at that. ATT, that's the Association for Talent Development. Project Management Institute, that's one of my credentials, and pretty much each of those are the credentials that I hold and the job boards associated with them. And then of course I have to do a shout out for Penn State, and whichever school you're aligned with, they all have job boards. So there's opportunities out there, you just need to look for them. And how do you become inspired to look for what's available? And why do you become inspired? So this is an article about the MASH model of care and pushing IT to the limits. I don't need to talk to each of you about this. You're in the trenches, but these are some of the words that, virtual care and visits, re-engineering, driving digital health transformation, and innovate. So these are words of the here and now, but also the focus of the future. And as far as driving digital transformation, some may say, oh, well, that's process improvement. I'm here to tell you it's so much more than that. And for those of you that have, you have grounded skills in health, IT, the future is yours to explore. So what is a career journey map? And I have a couple definitions, and certainly you may too. And I'm so glad to see that Penn Staters are here and with me. So thank you for those in the chat box. And oh, by the way, hey, Paula, nice to see you, Paula. So a career journey map is a personal professional development plan, and it's personal, and it's who you are. And regardless of the tool that you use, it's a framework for you to document your likes, dislikes, passions, as well as your purpose. It should be electronic. Certainly, I say it should be electronic because mine started out as paper, and I would sit on an airplane and I would update my SWOT analysis, my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and threats. And Mary, I bet you and I were on a plane together at some point when I was doing that. But yes, it definitely needs to be electronic. And it's your true north, which incidentally is a term not only coined by the advisory board, but it's a Lean Six Sigma term. And it's that ideal state of perfection. As I say here, ideal or state of perfection, I'm going to say it's your ideal state of perfection. And it's only as good as the energy that you put into it. So why should we do this? Well, these are some really good reasons why. And I got a lot of famous people here that talk about, planning and what happens when you don't plan. And I think my favorite is John F. Kennedy, which is the time to repair the roof is when the sun's shining, which makes a really, really good point. And I like the one about the Noah's Ark so good, I put it in there twice. Sorry about that. So, but the point is that it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. So plan. And then finally, Confucius, a man or person who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his door. So some really good tips as to why you should plan. So tools, what kind of tools are there? Well, there's quite a few things out there that you can use, from the Lean Six Sigma methodology, from the process improvement methodology. I chose to focus on two in the limited time that we do have here together. So the first being the SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And I do provide a source for you to look at that. And this is one that is just, we use it internally. We're doing within the professional development department of Himss. We already started it for Himss 22 based on what we're doing for Himss 21. So we definitely take a look at what worked, what didn't work, and what we need to do. And you can apply this to your personal life as well. So it's a really great tool. And then there's the Himss professional development plan. And I mentioned early on that I created this through some continuing professional development that I was doing. I wrote a chapter for the 5th edition of the Nursing Informatics textbook by Springer. And this is one that was started by Marion Ball and others. And what I wanted to do was build upon the SWOT analysis and really provide a framework that was all about me, or all about me and finding a position and my career, my education, and how I engage with the industry. So working through this, we thought, ooh, let's copyright this. Free tool, free to everybody, but it really turned out, we believe, to be a really easy, effective tool to help you navigate creating that professional development plan that will help you chart your journey in your career. So what are the components? So there's 5 sections, and the first one, all about me. And incidentally, the first one is to conduct a SWOT analysis. So there it is again, identify your likes, dislikes, and other characteristics. And then identify a response. So what's good is it if you have a list of all these things, you need to identify a response for it. So as I said before, one of the opportunities that I saw in my career was to find that Himss-like organization around professional development. And it took me a few years to find it. So that was one thing that, I looked at certain associations. There was one association that was workforce related, and they did have a certification, but their information was very outdated. So it's like, I'm not going to go through all that work if I'm not sure that, this certification is going to be valuable. So those are the things that I reasoned through when I was developing my plan before I articulated it in paper like this. So you also want to look at your personal brand. And this is defined, as Bill Arruda, as your unique promise of you. And I've provided some citations for you that you can take a look at. Look at your desired work-life balance. Sometimes jobs are not 8 to 5. Sometimes they go before and beyond and after, and sometimes they don't, but just having a sense of what it is that you need. Your interest in using a mentor or a coach, your moral compass. So these are things that can answer the question all about you. And then the next section is all about finding a position. So you have a sense of who you are, your likes, your dislikes. Well, then the next thing is, let's take a look at multiple job postings across databases. So I do mention a few here, but I think in the slides previous, I'll give you a really good sense of what's out there. Again, develop a plan on how to achieve the attributes of those resumes you reviewed. Prepare application materials up front, have things done ahead of time. We recently purchased a home, we downsized, and then we upsized, and we really didn't plan on it, but that's what we did. So we wrote thank you letters. We wrote letters as to why buyers should consider us. So those materials that you prepare, whether it's requesting letters of recommendation, it's customized, tailored covered letters to the position that you're looking for, all of those details are very important. And then, just looking at guidance provided by the employer, the networking piece of it, New England Himss, oh my goodness, the opportunities and the challenges and the opportunities that abound by connecting with one another, certainly in this time of our new world is a challenge, but you've all managed to do it really, really well. So again, as you work through the list, you can see the various steps that it takes in order to find that position or plan should you have to find that position. And that's a real distinction here because, do as John F. Kennedy said, plant, whatever he said, plant a tree when the sun, something about the sun shining, and it's been a very long day. So once again, envision and prepare for you yourself. And then finally, all about your career. Actually, not finally, this is the next piece of this, but all about your career. Identify your professional aspirations, the various roles that you can assume. And we do a lot of this at Himss. Sometimes I'll take on a role as a leader. Sometimes I'll take on a role as a participant and allow others the opportunity to take a project to fruition or a task or something like that. So be comfortable with that in order to, to really play those different roles. I also talk about, here's the NEHIMSS, American Health Information Management Association has a career map, and this is done really, really well. But what it helps you do is explore careers in general by going through their tool. And rumor has it, there's a tool that Himss is working on, and you'll hear more about that later. And then finally, that individual development plan. So you have this professional plan, but as you can see, there's plans within the plan. And again, you know, an individual development plan, it identifies short-term goals, long-term development opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. So, this is the plan. And it continues with your education, and then finally engaging in your industry. And for me, it was either going to be another master's or another certification. So I didn't quite have it in me to do a master's. And I decided to do a certification, but that's what worked, and that's what fit very, very nicely with what I'm doing. And oh, there might be a certificate course out there somewhere that I might do. I'm getting the itch to continue to professionally develop. And then finally, engaging with your industry. And I don't need to tell you about the importance of that and the fun, the banter back and forth when we were preparing to start the call. It's priceless. And even in the Philadelphia area, we have opportunities where healthcare leaders organization of ACHE comes together, as does the Project Management Institute and Himss. So all those groups in the Delaware Valley, and that's a lot of fun too. So even to get outside of the healthcare setting. And my last point here, give back to your professional association through volunteering, which each of you, I would hope that all of you would do this. We certainly know that Amy is president and the other members of the board do this, but it's just so rewarding in order to do so. And I was saying early on that I miss my interaction with volunteers, but my executive vice president, Denise Hines, is coming up with a way that the professional development department will be out and about sharing our tools and resources and methodologies with the chapters in the not too distant future. So, in conclusion, ready, set, go. And yes, that is the name of a session that Karen Malone and I do prior to conference, Ready, Set, Go. We do it about 2 weeks prior to our global conference, but it's also a way for you to get started and create that plan. So update your LinkedIn profile and your resume within LinkedIn, or perhaps your resume outside of LinkedIn. Review those 5 sections of the plan, and then complete the sections. Create this plan to keep your plan updated. So that's important. So just don't do it and set it away. Just periodically take a look at it, update it, pull it out. But whatever you do, begin your career journey today or update your career journey, because you never know when you're going to do it. So with that, I'm happy to take questions. I don't see too much coming through the chat box, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about this topic, or perhaps something else. So Amy, back to you.
Thanks so much, Joanne. This is great information. And I'm positive everybody got a lot out of it. But I do want to make sure that folks have a chance to ask questions if they'd like. You can put it into the chat. You can unmute yourself, whatever you'd like to do.
So I'll kick it off, Joanne. As you know, we have a pretty strong mentoring group within the chapter. And so how does mentoring fit in with the program that you're talking about? how would you say that they work together?
Oh, really, really important, because I find, a mentor is just priceless. Someone to talk to, someone to bounce ideas off of. And there can be various levels of this. It can be on a personal perspective. I'm a knitter, and oh boy, do we have fun knitting. And yes, we do chat about work and we do things of that nature. So that's the informal side of things. But also from a formal side, engaging with a good mentor is good practice, because it can be that third party voice that really can help you narrow down choices that you need to make, or provide those additional insights that may be critical in whatever situation you're in.
Great. We got a couple of questions in the chat. So one of the questions was, is it true that the majority of new jobs are found through networking and not from job ads?
That's a real interesting question. And I'm going to say that there's a mix of this, because certainly networks are alive and well. And I know myself, while I wasn't looking for a particular position at Himss that I eventually was hired, I was interested once I heard about it. And it was one of those things that I saw it on a website. So you see something on a website, you see that organizations hiring, well then that can lead you to begin asking questions. Can a reverse happen? Absolutely. So I think it's a little bit of both. I don't have a lot, I don't have any scientific research on that, but I will tell you that Himss is increasing its efforts in workforce development research. So I am actually going to suggest that as a topic, because I do think that that's really important. But leads can come from just any number of things. I serve on the local hospital foundation board, and just by virtue of interacting and talking with people and finding those connections, you never know what's going to happen. So I would not underestimate that. It does happen. Great.
Another question, how can members find out more information on career and professional development from Himss?
We go to himss.org. There's great resources and tools in the About section. And actually, I'm going to link out. Let's see. Here we go. Let me just head out to himss.org. And under resources, we have a resource center and lots of really good information here. So we have a topic list, and you can see what's most popular and just filter on every one of those. Here's a link to our job mine. Here's another really good resource, and that's the books. This is many times our authors with our publisher, Francis and Taylor, become our speakers become our authors, and it's a great way to give back. So that's where you would find more. And under who we are and what we do, we have solutions, we have opportunities, and there's just a world of information, a plethora of information. My favorite is in the resource center. So
that's great. Very helpful. Thanks, Joanne. Another question we had was, how flexible can your quote unquote career plan be, especially if you're just starting with very little hands-on job experience?
Okay. What was the first part of that?
How flexible can your career plan be?
very flexible. In fact, I would recommend you be highly flexible because you may go down a path and decide that analytics isn't for you after all. And that's why I did the PMP certification. My first certification was a CP Himss certification. My second certification I earned was a PMP because I think I said that I wasn't sure whether I was going to stay in healthcare because healthcare wasn't cool when I started in healthcare. And for those of us that have, 2 to 3 decades of experience in healthcare, it wasn't always the way it is now with the, the technology. So you need to be very flexible. You need to be nimble. And it's real easy to get frustrated. And I would recommend that the mentor aspect of this can help you along this journey as well.
Great, thank you. Any other questions before we head into some of the adventures for tonight? All right, Joanne, thank you so much. This was fantastic. Very, very helpful and great information. So thank you for taking that time out to speak to us. Fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
Joanne's gonna, oh, absolutely. Anytime. You're welcome anytime. And I know Joanne's gonna join us for the stand-up portion. So Bob, do you wanna kind of, or should I just go ahead and start with the logistics? I can talk about the logistics. So the way this is going to work, so this is the interesting part of being in the virtual land, is you're going to see in the chat box right now, I've listed 5 different names. This is the order of names that will be highlighted, and we'll kick off our stand-up. So you can see Bob's listed, I'm listed, Matt's listed. So basically we're going to give a batch of names of 5 people. That's to prep you so that you're ready, that you're the next group that's going to be coming up and having a chance to stand up and network. Bob will talk a little bit more about the information you're going to share. Bob will be our first example, followed by myself and Matt. And from that point, we will give you a minute to a minute and a half to give kind of your elevator pitch to all of us. Don't be shy. And obviously, this is for the folks who did opt in to, and agreed to share their camera and keep their camera on. So just make sure you do have your camera on when we call you out. Also, be sure you unmute yourself. We'll remind you if you don't unmute yourself and we can't hear you. Trying to think what else I'm missing here. So we'll do it in groups of 5. You'll have a minute and a half. Matt will actually make a sound. He'll ding a noise that we'll be listening for. That will be your warning that you're out. We're up for the next person. So as you can see, I'm spotlighted. We will be switching the spotlight based on who's up next. So again, don't be too shy. But and if you decide you actually want to participate, and you may have initially said you didn't want to, by all means, message me and I will add you to the list to make sure that you are included. And then if you miss your turn, also let me know and I'll add you to the end. So I think that covers logistics, Bob.
Excellent. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. So so a few comments before we sort of kick this off. So one of the people that's in the audience tonight is Paula Bagnanti. And I want to recognize Paula specifically because probably 15 years ago, Paula started a concept when she was president, maybe a little bit longer, called stand-up networking. And we were used to meet back in Paparazzi in Wellesley. And a few of you are used to participate in those. And we had 30 people or so who used to participate in a monthly meeting. And we'd all get up and we'd tell everybody who we were, what we did, what we were looking for. Maybe we were looking for a job or something else. And it was a great way to get to know who else was in the room. And then we got too big. And there was 50 people, there was 75 people, there were 100 people in the room. And we no longer had the opportunity to do it. So we haven't done this in over a decade. But I want to thank Paula specifically because she came up with this idea and it was so successful, but we actually got so successful, we just stopped doing it because we didn't have enough time. So tonight's the first time we've done it in a really long time. So as I said earlier, the goal here tonight is to enjoy yourself, get to meet other people, give an opportunity to let them know who you are, what's important to you, what do you do? Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you want to find somebody to help you on a project at work. Maybe you just are interested in a certain topic and want to know other people who are interested in that topic. If you're with a company, feel free to tell us about your company. Feel free to tell us, what your company does or what you do in that company, or you might want to talk about kind of those employees that your company typically looks for. This is not a job fair per se, but we certainly wouldn't object to saying, you typically are hiring for this kind of services, and please reach out to me if you're interested. The second thing is we asked everybody to participate if they wanted to in a networking list afterwards. So when you signed up, you said if you wanted to be in a networking list. If you said you didn't, and now are going to change your mind, no problem. Send me an email and let me know that you want to be added to the list, and we will do so. So I'll probably get that list out sometime next week, and so we can kick that off. If you have any questions about the process at all, just send an email. Send a text during the event. Amy will probably see it, or I'll see it, and we'll respond to you. We'll break in and we'll try to give you some help. But just have some fun, and we really appreciate it. So off for starting the event. So I'm going to correct Amy a little bit. We're giving everybody a minute, and we're going to let you slide a tiny bit into about a minute and 10, 15 seconds maybe. But after a minute and 15, we're really going to have to cut you off. The few exceptions are people who are sponsors. So if you're a sponsor, you get a little longer because you're sponsoring the organization, and we really appreciate that. So we're giving you a little extra time. So I'm going to kick things off, and I should actually start my own timer to do that. So I'm Bob Dichter, and I am a past president of the organization, have been involved in New England Hymns for about 20 years. And during the day, I help organizations by looking at connecting the business side of the world with the technology side of the world. As a good friend of mine who's on this call tonight calls me a healthcare business leader in technologist clothing. And the reason he does is because I'm the guy that sort of connects all the pieces and the parts. Most of my work is done as a consultant, and I'm primarily consulting to Versatile Health. And our organization helps organizations with their technology infrastructure needs, and I'm leading out the digital health services. And we offer basically the ability to help a healthcare organization, predominantly provider organizations, run their healthcare department, run their technology department, or assist in running their technology department, looking at strategy, looking at digital innovation, looking at how do we improve how that organization is going to function using technology and leveraging technology. So that's what Versatile Health does, and I'm happy to answer any questions about them later on. So thank you, everybody, and Amy, you're up.
All right. So, hello, everyone. I already mentioned my name is Amy Chaco. I am the current president, but I have also been involved with Himss for quite a long time. I've been involved for a little over 10 years now, doing various roles, including at the national level. I've actually worked on the professional development committee for a couple of years now. But I've also been on the professional certification committee, as well as the chapters task force. Then for my day job, I'm a consultant. I work for Nordic Consulting currently, consulting on the Cape right now. And I specialize specifically with inpatient and outpatient applications currently on Epic. But I've also done a variety of other things, such as system selections process, as well as litigation consulting for malpractice lawsuits. So, you know, oh, geez, I was not ready. Not ready. This is a good test.
I just had to do it. No, we said 1 minute, right?
1 minute.
Okay.
That was
That's it. Maybe it was a little loud, so I apologize.
it.
I guess
I thought we were getting bombed, like Zoom bombed. I thought someone was bombing.
Well, I hope I woke you all up too. So all right,
It's
my
so
minute
funny.
is starting. Matt Bornstein. I am a former president of the chapter. I am the current membership committee chair. I've been involved, like Amy, for about 10 years or so. I've been in other committees as well. Communications is where I started, and sort of worked my way up there. So what do I do for my professional career? See, currently I am I just changed roles. I work for Beth Israel in Boston. I am a manager of anesthesia systems and data management. So I recently moved over to the Department of Anesthesia. I worked for 4 years prior to that in project management for the corporate provider organization. So I'm excited to move over to more of a clinically focused position. And I just started 2 weeks ago. So it's been kind of in the trenches and learning as much as I can. So I'm excited to be here with you all, and certainly reach out if you're not a member or you are, and there's my gong. There we go. All right. So, there we go. Next.
Thanks, Matt. Next is Joe Coletti.
Where's Joe?
Joe, you might have to open up your camera.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, there he's starting to come in. There he is. Hi,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Excellent. Great to see everyone again, just working from the house remotely. Working with Blue Cirrus Consulting for telehealth consulting. Working with a lot of great healthcare facilities. Talking about reimbursements and all the updated codes and reporting data from telehealth to help some of these regulatory laws stay in place and help rural health facilities with their telehealth programs. So we just came from the Mid-Atlantic Telehealth Resource Conference, and it was virtual. It was a great virtual conference, and I look forward to spending time with New England Himss and all of these group meetings.
You have more time?
So yeah, I'm in for the conference and can't wait. And it's good to see everybody again.
Thanks so much, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Good to see you.
I don't want to bore everyone to death early.
I woke everyone up, so you were on deck.
Yeah. So next up is Sarah Khalil.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Sarah Khalil, and I'm currently studying health informatics at Northeastern University. But prior to joining this program, I actually spent some time doing translational research, and I got my master's in biomedical sciences. But as part of my program right now, we get to gain some hands-on experience and put the skills that we've learned into practice. So this summer, I'm going to be spending some time working with the analytics and data science organization team at Biogen. And I'm just starting, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a good opportunity for me to explore this kind of career path. But I'm scheduled to graduate in August of 2022, and I'm looking to continue to search for opportunities to grow, and maybe that's going to be working as a data analyst in healthcare, in the healthcare industry. But I'm also flexible. I guess this was the take-home message from today. Being flexible is going to be important. And I don't know if I have more time. I just wanted to mention that I'm also part of the New England Himss mentorship program. I wanted to really thank Bob for being a great mentor. I've learned a lot, and it's been a great experience so far.
Perfect timing.
Oh, that's great.
She's so good. She's so good like that. Thanks, Sarah. Next up is Jennifer Sue. Hi, Jennifer.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Sue, and I am the Senior Manager of Strategic Partnership here in E-Ink. Prior to my role here, I am the investor relations officer for our group, the E Ink Group. Currently, I'm based in Billerica, Massachusetts, which is a little bit north of Boston. So who is E Ink, except that we are a premium sponsor of Himss New England chapter? And what do we do to help the healthcare IT industry? So E Ink is known for that we're the e-paper company, and e-paper is a digital display that looks and acts actually like paper. So our famous product is Amazon's Kindle Paperwhite e-readers, if you know and use one. And they're using our e-paper display since their first generation from many years ago. So about myself, my role here at E Ink is to work with the hospitals and people in the healthcare IT, like the system integrators, to accelerate the digital transformations in healthcare and to build our to build our digital paper ecosystem in healthcare. So I'm also in charge of all the marketings and co-promotions for healthcare applications. So you will probably see me in a lot of our conference booths or even on stage. And e-paper is actually a relatively new technology to healthcare. And this is actually our third year. We expand into the healthcare industry in the United States. Because our e-papers actually consumes minimum power, so it's actually very suitable for a lot of the digital signage in hospitals, especially if the hospitals are like older and cannot afford to shut down and to install the power lines and things. Currently, we have two products. One is the patient room door sign. The solution is installed in Landmark hospitals in Florida. And we also are working with Brigham Women hospitals in Boston to test out our digital paper whiteboard solutions, and it receives very good feedback. So thank you all, and look forward to connecting with everyone.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's great. Awesome information. Next up is Frank Farley, our very own. Hi, Frank.
Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Farley. I'm a member of the board of directors, member at large, also on our wonderful sponsorship committee, Go Sponsorship. Now, for me, it was a slightly different journey. Prior to getting into healthcare, I was in the legal services industry. I started my own business for about 11 years. Went back to school at Northeastern. I'm a double Husky, go Huskies. Got my master's degree in health informatics. It was challenging to make that transition. Healthcare did not make it easy, but I got in. Currently, I am the customer success manager and sales rep at with Care.Coach. Basically, I help complex chronic care needs adults live within the community using technology that combines artificial intelligence with a human touch. It allows people to remain in their home and, most importantly, out of the nursing home. So it's a combination of a person and technology. Again, it's all about keeping our high-cost, high-risk older adults out of the nursing home. And finally, I invite everyone attending this session, because I love expanding my network, to reach out to me, hit me up on LinkedIn, and let's connect. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Frank. Great job. Next up, which is so funny because Frank and Carl have a thing. Carl Gersh, he's up.
We have a thing, Frank and I?
We have a thing.
We have a thing. Well, I will say this. I did go to college in Connecticut. I went to Connecticut College, which was the Camels, not the Huskies, but more often than not, people think Huskies when I say Con College. So I guess maybe honorary Husky. My name's Carl Gersh. I'm the director of marketing at iGel Technology. We are a sponsor of Himss. I feel like I've been a sponsor of Himss for about 10 years, not at iGel for the full time. I was also worked at Citrix, and in one of my roles at Citrix, I was managing Citrix's healthcare marketing. So I've had the opportunity to attend the national conference on a few occasions. It's quite the spectacle. And we're thrilled to be sponsoring Himss events. So with the little bit of time I have right now, what I want to do is talk briefly about iGel, because I wouldn't be a very good marketing person if I didn't. And then talk a little bit about career development, because I think there are some interesting career opportunities for those people that are interested in in, working as evangelists within the technology industry. So just put that out there. But let's talk about iGel first. iGel is an operating system. And I think everyone at this point, roughly, this is Himss. We all know what operating systems are. We're all familiar with Windows or iOS or whatnot. iGel is an operating system designed for really next-gen digital workspaces. And that's like a funny way of, or fancy way of saying that if we think about our current operating system of Windows, that was developed, if you can believe it, in the 1980s. And it got updated in the 90s, but it was designed at a time when people were keeping all the data on the device, probably under their desk. But if you think about today, think about this last year, we've all been working remotely and we've been using tools like Citrix or Microsoft Windows Virtual Desktop to deliver applications and data from a data center out to the device. You don't need a big fat operating system on the device to be able to access those resources. So the iGel operating system was custom built, purpose built specifically to connect to a digital workspace, like a Citrix, like a VMware, like a Microsoft Windows Virtual Desktop, or anything else like that. It's designed to be simple to use, very easy to manage, ultra secure, and it's pretty cost effective, versus the alternative. Some people used to call them thin clients. I think it's a little bit of outdated technology, but it is a thin OS. So chances are, if you sit down, you log in and you're using Citrix, you could be using an iGel operating system. And if you're not, give me a call because we should talk about why you should be. All right, that's my pitch. Now, with the remaining time, I will say this. It's been fascinating. I love the presentation I heard from Joanne earlier. I am from Philadelphia myself, so it's always good to see someone from the city of brotherly love, which I sometimes think is a sarcastic tagline for Philly. But I studied philosophy and economics in college. I ended up in the information technology industry. I think a lot of people, there's a misperception that if you work in IT, either at a manufacturer like an iGel or whatnot, that you have to come from an IT background. I've studied IT to begin with. But the truth is that information technology opportunities exist for people who, have come from other fields. And I know at Citrix, we had people that were evangelists that could talk about how Citrix could impact healthcare. And these are people that came from the healthcare industry that were working more on the end user side, that then went to the vendor side to bridge that gap and to be able to, explain how those solutions work. So as you evaluate the different opportunities in the different career paths that you might, want to go down, don't rule out looking at ancillary industries that could benefit from your experience, your hands-on experience that you have, working, at primary care facilities and whatnot, to be able to take that knowledge elsewhere. I'll end with what Frank said. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you like. It's Carl Gersh. There's only one of me out there. I'm on LinkedIn. Glad to connect with everyone here. And hopefully we get a chance to do some trivia soon, because I think that's
yeah, I'm going to be reaching out, Carl. Look out for an email.
There we go. And I'll sign off with this. I started my career working at a keyboard factory. I got laid off. Apparently I wasn't putting in enough shifts.
Oh. I got it.
Everybody.
I got it.
There we go.
Thanks so much. All right, next up is Jay Tulchinsky. Hi, Jay.
Hey, how are you? Hi, everyone. It's great to see a lot of people from many years ago. So Jay Tulchinsky, I've been a member of Himss, I think going on 16 years, I think about now. I'm the past president. I've been in healthcare about 26 years, started my career at Mass General Hospital in patient access and IT, and I've been in various sales and marketing roles over the years. Currently, I'm a senior account director with KPMG, managing strategic accounts in New York City. But I live in Boston, so I'm really looking to reconnect with everybody here in New England and expand my network. So please feel free to reach out to me. Happy to talk to anyone who's looking for a career in healthcare. And like Carl, I actually started from a different industry. I was in hotel restaurant management originally, and in Lotus marketing, 1, 2, 3, just dated myself even more and moved into healthcare for real personal reasons. So I think it's important that you enjoy what you're doing, but you find reason and purpose in what you're doing. So it's nice to see everybody again.
Thanks so much, Jay. All right, next up is Mahalakshmi Babu. Do you have your camera up? There you are. Hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thanks for pronouncing my name right.
Great job.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Okay, so I am a freelance nutrition consultant and a writer with a graduate degree in nutritional science. I'm a kind of an outlier in this group because I do not have a clinical background, neither do I have an IT background. I'm currently a student of health information management, and I'm looking to cross over to the field of informatics. And as a freelance health writer, I enjoy the challenge of translating complex scientific concepts into lay language. And my strength is the ability to communicate the science-backed health and wellness principles clearly to my audience. And thankfully, a decade of freelance writing gave me that ample experience to present a variety of complex health-related information into readable and digestible material. And I also need to mention that before remote work started, I started back in 2011 because I was a freelance writer. So I did not go anywhere to work. So I was a remote worker long ago. So I'm like a pro. I am also I'm working in the platform called Upwork, and it's a freelance. It's a platform for the freelance writers, and I am proud to say that I gained the top-rated freelancer. I've been the top-rated freelancer for the past 5-6 years, and my interest in informatics is mostly in population health informatics. I want to use the data sets and convert them into a meaningful, beneficial thing for the public health, and that's about me.
Great. Thank you so much, Mahalakshmi.
I also have to say that I'm part of New England mentorship program, and the program has been great.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you so much.
So glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is Liddy Billick.
You've got to unmute yourself.
Hey there, everybody. Hi, I'm Liddy Bielek, and I also am benefiting from the Himss New England Himss mentorship program, and I'm on the advocacy committee and the student activities committee as well, keeping me plenty busy. I have spent the last 12 years as an EHR administrator and day-to-day operations manager at a university behavioral health center. And I also have project management experience, leadership experience, and spiritual care experience from my prior career as an ordained minister in the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. I'm currently pursuing my master's in health informatics with a data analytics concentration. And I'm really excited about what the future holds. I am looking for opportunities to really delve deeply into data analytics and data visualization. To be frank, I love diving into the data, finding out what's there, and applying my mathematical, logical, analytical side with my creative side to turn that raw data into visualizations that provide insight and foster discussion, which then leads to actionable steps to improve our healthcare system. So it just doesn't get better than that. So if you are looking for a systems thinking person who has equal passion for people, healthcare, and the numbers, please connect with me. I'd look forward to talking to you. Thanks.
Awesome. Great job. Thanks, Liddy. Next up is Paula Magnani.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Paula.
So I want you to know, Bob and Amy, I had to go out and buy one of these things because this monitor that I bought didn't have a camera on it. So I just want to let you know, see my penthouse right here, my office. I wanted to thank Bob because it was about 5 or 6 of you on this call that have mentored me. I'm a medical certified medical assistant, a registered medical technologist. I worked as a medical device companies, and then I became a vendor manager of Sybase. What did I do with Sybase? But they were willing to train me on the IT component. With that, I drove down to Rhode Island and back in 1999, and I sat in on a board meeting, just introduced myself. And from there, as they say, the rest is history. So my day job is I still do consulting work. My passion is ophthalmic. I was the director of vision screenings for a company where I opened up the Northeast. I think the best takeaway for me is stay with the core functions. You will be able to educate yourself and train yourself on any products that you need, but stay with your passion, stay with your background, stay with what works for you, and then use your skills to be transferable. So one of the projects for the vision screening was I met Lions clubs all over the country, and I fell in love with the Lions. And so working with small nonprofits, one thing led to the other, and I started the chapter of the I started the chapter of the Sudbury Lions group from soup to nuts. It's been 2 years, but you know what? The core foundation of my skills came from what I learned on the Himss boards from the Cliffs and the Jays and the Gregs and the Bobs and everybody that's on the map, all you that are on this call. So I just want to say, we are Past Presidents Club, and once you become that, you have mentors, every single one of you on this call I respect tremendously, and you have actually taught me every single day. And I just wanted to thank you very much. That's it. I just wanted to say thank you. And yes, we did start stand-up networking because I did nothing but network. They called me Mrs. Himss. And so I got it from another group and I brought it to Himss. And I appreciate Bob's acknowledgement of that. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paula. Next up is Deborah Graves. Hi, Deborah. Oh, looks like you're muted. There you are. There you go.
Good evening. I'm Deb Graves. I have a master's in health informatics from Northeastern, and I'm looking to use that knowledge and my strong skills in quality assurance in the provider sector of healthcare. I also have a background in project management and business analysis, so I have a wide variety I can choose from in terms of skills I can use in healthcare. Right now, I'm not in healthcare, so I'm working as a project manager and business analyst with the City of Boston in their assessing department, but I'm looking to get back into healthcare and utilize these skills to actually lead, drive changes with the data to improve patient outcomes, because that's kind of a passion. That's why I got into this, is to use that technology background I have to improve patient outcome. And really, it really is about the patient. That's what it's all about. And I also like to mention that I am in the mentorship program, and I have really benefited from it. Laura Marquez is my mentor, and she's been very helpful. And also, I'm looking forward to the spring conference, which I will join. Thank you.
Lovely. Yeah. Thank you, Deb, for that plug for us as well for our spring conference. I appreciate that. So thank you so much. Next up is George Deely. We have George.
Yes, you do. I assume you can see me, right?
Not just yet. There you are. Okay.
Here I am. Hi, everyone. George Deely. I'm the Vice President and leader of the Dimensional Insight, one of the Himss sponsors, Healthcare Solutions Group. Great idea, great program. Thanks for putting it together. I've been in healthcare IT for a little over 20 years, 3 different companies. I have an undergraduate degree in economics, a master's degree in computer science. I found the computer industry first. I worked for Sybase once upon a time early on. Then eventually the healthcare industry, somewhat circuitously. I've been a member of Himss for a while, as well as the American College of Healthcare Executives, where I'm on the program committee, and I'm a mentor there as well. And to stay on top of what's going on in the healthcare industry, I have my certifications from Himss as CP Himss, as well as from Chime, a Chime Foundation certified healthcare executive. So a little bit about Dimensional Insight. So we create analytic software solutions using technology that we've developed ourselves, including both analytics platform technology, and industry-specific applications. We create solutions for a variety of industries, but we have a particular focus on healthcare. And specifically, we've created a family of healthcare applications that help provider organizations distill their very complex healthcare data down to actionable information that revolves around well-defined, well-documented key performance indicators. Dimensional Insight's been among the early innovators in healthcare analytics applications, and we've been recognized for that by Class Research as best in class in our category for 3 straight years and 9 times since the inception of the award. And we're particularly proud of that since it's based on customer feedback. Our customers include both large academic medical centers such as Penn Medicine, as well as community hospitals throughout the US and everything in between, as well as healthcare organizations around the world. And we're always looking for healthcare data analysts and data engineers to join our team. So if you do have a background in healthcare data and analysis and a passion for getting the most out of that data, I'd love to speak with you. Or if you just want to learn about our part of the industry, I'd be happy to chat with you as well. And advice on networking, don't be shy, just get out there and talk. Most people will be happy to talk back to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, George. So next up is Carly Bamford. Carly? Hi, Carly.
Hi, my name's Carly, and I'm a recruiter at InterSystems, and I started only 2 months ago. Previously, I'd been working for a recruiting outsourcing company called 7step, where we had different companies like Aetna and CVS that I was recruiting for, but I was really excited to join InterSystems because I wanted to work directly for a company that I was passionate about. And InterSystems is a data technology company focused on healthcare, and we're in Boston. And we sell different products like HealthShare, which is a unified care record suite, and TrackCare. And so we go out and sell that to different hospitals around the area. And you may not know InterSystems, but you may know some of our customers like Epic. And we're definitely hiring. So we have 95 positions open in Boston right now. So I'd love to connect with you on open positions if you're looking for a job, or you just want someone to read over your resume and just give you a second opinion. I'd be happy to do that as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Carly. And thank you as one of our sponsors as well. All right. Next up, you see I put a new grouping in the chat. So next up is our very own Wendy. Wendy Ouellette.
Hi,
Wendy.
Hi. It's great to see everybody tonight. I have to say that I'm very, very proud of all my mentees and mentors in this group. You guys have done amazing this year. I started off as a nurse, medic, nurse, technician, OR, went through and I had a month and a half to do a full Meditech install due to some circumstances for when 2 hospitals came together. And from there, my career went totally in a different pattern. In the middle of it, I didn't know what a Gantt chart was. So I took my master's in informatics in the middle of all of that, successfully implemented it. And definitely, like I said, I've pulled myself, and now I'm working for Maine Health. I am the manager of the clinical systems for the OR anesthesia and for the ED. Very proud. And I got to say, for everyone out there, I hired 2 Himss members that were prior HIMSS members that came right out of college, and they didn't have any medical background, and they are amazing. I've got someone on my team that was a graphic designer prior. I have somebody that actually worked on a lobster boat. I've got it from all over. I have clinical and I have non-clinical. To run an EHR, you have to have all different kinds of skills. And I gotta say, this platform is amazing and great, and I love it. I've met a lot of people, and definitely don't limit yourself. Always look, you can always apply yourself as in what you do to what a company may need. And with that, I would just say that I am so excited, and we're going to be starting a new mentorship program. We'll be sending out information starting around June. So everybody, if you've been it, want to do it again, definitely reach out. Himss is amazing, and I'm very, very proud to be the chairperson for the mentorship group.
Love it. Thanks so much, Wendy. Next up, Rich Kubica. Hi, Rich.
How you doing? I'm Rich Kubica. I am also a past president. I think I was somewhere between Paula, Bob, and so that's my vintage. And I'm retired, as I mentioned, and what I'm looking now is to give back. I was the CTO at Hartford Healthcare, and interestingly enough, I got transitioned out, as many of us do, and I became the interim CIO at the University of Rhode Island. And I also started out at Northeast Utilities. So I have 3 industries under my belt, and I am in the mentorship program as a mentor. And I figure the best I can do is to give counsel to people that are in their career, thinking of doing a change in their career, primarily though around, I would say, executive management and strategy issues. That's where I'm kind of at with Himss. Now, also, beginning to get more involved in advocacy in the state of Connecticut. And I'm actually looking for help from people like Mary Griskowitz and Matt Fisher as I get involved in this area, as my contacts are a little bit dry than they used to, a little bit drier than they used to be. So I'm going to use both sides of Himss to both be a mentor and to get contacts from people that still are quite active in the industry. So there's my pitch.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rich. Mary will be up in a little bit. So next up is Radha Chadwick. Hi, Radha. Oh, we just have to have you unmute. Nope, still can't hear you. Oh. No.
What about now?
Perfect. Now we got you.
Okay. I had to unmute both. That's weird. I'm on my phone and my computer, so I was hoping you guys wouldn't get echo. So sorry about that. Okay, so my name is Radha Chadwick. I am actually Rich is my mentor. So I am in the New England Himss mentorship program, and I found it very, very helpful. I am working full time and going to school, so Rich has been able to help me with both paths. I go to school at SNHU online for master's in IT with a concentration in healthcare informatics. And I work at Thunder Mist Health Center in Rhode Island. They have many different locations all over Rhode Island. It's a nonprofit community health center that they provide behavioral health services, primary care, convenient care, and also dental for low-income patients. We also so what I do is I'm a software trainer. I started out as an EHR admin, and then I kind of moved up, and now I train providers and staff. I also help with optimizing workflows. Yeah, so reach out if you guys are interested in connecting.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Radha.
You're
All
welcome.
right. I'm sorry, I lost my list. Okay, next up is Jillian Smith. Jillian?
Hi there.
Jillian.
So let's see. I have a little bit of everything to share, and hopefully I can do this in a timely fashion. Apologize, my camera's over here. My screen is over here. So usually I prefer the making eye contact routine, but it's hard to look at my notes because I'm not generally a public speaker. So let's see. I am I'm an account manager. I've been at Connection for about 13 years. You guys probably know it as PC Connection. We're also a sponsor here for Himss. 13 years in the same chair, doing the same thing. I am on the networking list, and I welcome you guys all to email or call me or connect with me on LinkedIn, whatever works for you. I wanted to mention first that I appreciate our speaker tonight, because Joanne was talking about professional development, and I actually have been reaching out and doing some of that on my own. Not that I was getting bored at my regular job, but there's certain things when you do your job that you find that you really are passionate about and you want to learn more, because there's nothing worse than talking to customers or talking to coworkers and not knowing all that information. So I branched out and I've spent the last 2.5 years working on my master's in cybersecurity. And I actually, in 2 more courses, actually graduate this September. So I'm doing that to sort of expand my my aging brain and keep myself active and doing all those things that keep me from being mush when I'm not working. So I love my job. I honestly can't say that I would rather do anything else other than this. I get to spend all day helping people, although I don't do it in a hospital or inside a healthcare organization. I at least am doing this for healthcare organizations. So I'm helping you to help other people. So what do? I actually sell technology. So I offer services to help organizations like all of yours complete your technology goals. So you've probably heard all of these buzzwords that I'm just going to run through really fast. Things like cloud migration, your Azure and AWS, your server storage and networking, your access points for better customer experience to help with your customer SAT scores, your wristband scanners for patient bracelets, nursing carts, helping you find ways to make sure that you don't have to stop your nursing cart when you get to that piece of tape halfway down the hallway because your Wi-Fi runs out and you can't get information to your laptop to push to the next patient room. Desktops, notebooks, printers, security cameras, the digital signage, those big things that you have in your lobby that direct patients places, that put your menu up in your cafeteria, all of this stuff falls under the technology category. And the big thing for you guys, meaningful use, when you had to work on all your meaningful use stages, that was something that I was heavily involved in from the technology side and helping you find exactly what you needed to make that, to hit that criteria by those deadlines so that you could get your funding and things. And I know that wasn't really a fun journey for anybody. That was always a, hi, I need help with meaningful use stage 2. I don't know what I need. How do I get right? So that was a little bit what I did. And then of course, my favorite topic, cybersecurity. I am loving it. And I would love to talk with you guys about securing your environment all day long from hackers, your hardware, your email, protecting you from folks that are like hacking your SolarWinds. That was the big thing. WannaCry, all those others. And really quickly, knowing that this is a networking event, if you guys want to talk with me about jobs at Connection, we're always hiring. We do have a few specific healthcare division folks that we hire for project managers, for sales, and for healthcare related trainers that train the salespeople and that talk to customers about specific healthcare things. We have a doctor on staff who actually talks to our customers about technology that other doctors want to see that maybe the IT folks aren't really addressing in the right way. So that's me. And I appreciate being here, and I'm happy to be a sponsor for you guys. It's a great organization.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jillian. Great to have you with us as Connection. So thank you. Next up is Cliff J. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, everybody. Did I unmute myself?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Cliff J here. And I'm just one of the guitar players for the New England Hymns Rock and Roll Band.
Yes, you are.
But who said that? But my real job, and I've spent a lot of time, I run a healthcare consulting company. It's called HealthNet. And we've been around for about 30 years. We do healthcare IT strategies for healthcare organizations. We do RFP system selection. So, we'll choose anything from the EMRs to the ERPs to the analytics and BI tools, et cetera, for our clients. And we'll also do a lot of implementations. It doesn't matter to us what the various software product is, because while we have portfolio in virtually all the major systems, we look at the world from a digital transformation point of view, which is how to make the most out of whatever you have. I mean, you could take the best system and do a crap implementation, or take a mediocre system and get tons out of it. So that's the type of thing we do. Because the world from a consulting firm's perspective has changed. And we, in more recent times, where we certainly keep our core crew for a lot of years, and but in more recent times, we've been asked to do a lot more of either temporary or backfill situations from our clients, so that if people are looking for either some interim work or permanent jobs, either one, I would encourage you to make sure you get onto our database, because we have a person up in the office who handles that. Because here's what happens, and this is where I think life has changed. We'll get a call on a Wednesday, end of day, and said, oh, we need a left-handed Epic pharmacy analyst. And by Friday morning, they want an answer. So being active on various consulting work, whether it be mine or other people's, I think is a good thing, particularly if people are doing some freelance work or some interim work or what have you. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I can put you in touch with any of the people who handle that stuff for the company.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cliff. Nice seeing you. So we have 11 more people to get through. So we will be getting a little tighter with the time. So next up is Marie Cloutier. I hope I did. Cloutier, thank you. Hi, Mary. Marie, actually, do we have your camera? There you are. Yes. Hi, Marie.
Hello. So hi, everybody. I'm Marie Cloutier. I am an Epic credential trainer and sales representative. I spent about 20 years in sales, starting in IT at Hewlett Packard and Insight, and then moved into the healthcare space and for software as a service for hospitals or predictive analytics for hospitals. And most recently, I got credentialed as a trainer for Epic, training clinicians on how to use the tool for a new go live at this hospital up in New Hampshire. I am looking for a new role. I am in transition right now, looking for a role either in training or in sales. I would love to be able to be in the healthcare information technology world. I really felt very comfortable and at home there. And anything that I can do that helps to promote better patient outcomes is what I'd like to do.
I love how quick you were. You're right to the point. Thank you so much, Marie. All right, next up is Mary G. Mary Griskowitz.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having this wonderful session. Some of you know me, some of you I'm new to. So I am, from a personal perspective, I'm a wife, a mentor, an author, a speaker. I'm currently an intern. I'm also a policy wonk. I have provided testimony to the United States Congress. My full-time job is working for Cigna, which is a health services company. I serve as their policy person responsible for all health information technology and digital health for all of Cigna Enterprise. That includes our PBM, our payer, our international, etc. I love information technology. I love working with everybody in this space, but most of all, I love working with our mentees and Himss. So Wendy and team, you've done an awesome job with the mentorship program. And Joanne and I, this is a true story, I think she's left, but Joanne and I interviewed for Himss. I worked for Himss National for about 11 years on the same exact day. We were sitting on the same exact couch, and she looked left and I looked right, and we laughed at each other because she was on my Himss Public Policy Committee that I was the chair of at that time. There were 5 of us hired that day. It was Joanne Kleindens, myself, Dee Dee Davis, Lisa Gallagher, and Pam Matthews. We were called the Fab Five at that time. Steve Lieber and Carla Smith brought in thought leadership into the organization. What I will say to you is always, always keep Himss and your affiliation with Himss New England throughout your entire career. This current job I'm in took one phone call, and that was because 15 years before I made a contact because I was a Himss member. So I will leave you with that. That is the best advice I could give any one of us, whether we're veterans or whether you're new into the industry. always keep your membership, always network. It does work. And by the way, Joanne would be proud. I did get a job, off job mine. And it was a joke one day with my husband. And he said, I challenge you to get a job where we could go snowmobiling in Vermont. And I did. I got it off job mine. So
Awesome.
you use the resources.
Thanks so much, Mary. Great advice. All right, next up is Ashley Rogers from Healthcare Triangle. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, pleasure to be with you guys today. I'm a bit of a stand-in, so none of you will recognize my face. I'm here for Mike Preston today from Healthcare Triangle. We are a proud premier sponsor of this group, and as Mary just highlighted, there is nothing more valuable than a Himss membership. I'm a Himss member as well, but different chapter, different group. I'm a VP of healthcare for us there at Healthcare Triangle. We are an end-to-end technology and consulting solutions provider for life sciences, healthcare, and payers. So we help drive digital transformation and operational and clinical excellence for our clients all the way across their services and their divisions and lines. So in terms of where we're going and what we're looking for, our organization is growing. I'm looking for expertise and excellence all the way from Epic and Meditech staffing through to cloud and technology transformation. We do lead and manage the cloud and infrastructure services for 5 of the top 10 global pharmas, as well as for numerous over 100 hospitals here in the US. So those skill sets are always in demand, and the Himss groups are an exceptional place for us to find those staff and, for you to sort of learn a little bit about what might be of interest to you as you consider applying the skills you do have in new and different spaces, as was highlighted earlier. So thank you all. A pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Ashley. Great. Next up is Cabby Harvey. Cabby, hi.
Muted.
You're muted.
There you go.
Challenges with the mute button. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Hi, I'm Cabby Harvey, and I've kind of been dancing along the edge of the bleeding edge of healthcare IT, starting with IDX back in the day when we were trying to display lab results on a CRT, and then moving on to one of the first implementations of a clinical portal where providers had single access and could single sign on into multiple applications. It started at Eclipsys, and then they spun that off to HealthVision. And currently I'm at Orion Health, and we're on the bleeding edge of trying to help Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey combine payer information with clinical information in a meaningful manner, which, as anybody who's been around for a while knows, that it's a bit of a challenge to have it be meaningful. But it's been my passion to provide information to doctors and their staff for the treatment of patients at the right time so that they've got the information they need to do that. And it's been a wonderful career. And I will say that I met my wonderful husband while I was working at HealthVision, and you have the pleasure of meeting him next.
Great intro.
Yeah, nice little segue.
How the hell do I follow that?
Good luck.
Thanks, Cabby. Great seeing you.
That was preemptive, so I didn't start, and now in rebuttal. My name's Arthur Harvey, and I am the Senior Vice President and CIO of Boston Medical Center Health System. I've been doing healthcare IT approximately since Magellan roamed the sea. I started at Brigham and Women's Hospital working in mumps back before there was a Partners, and have been doing it ever since. I really like it. As Cabby said, we're both passionate about healthcare IT. It's why we do what we do, and we've been doing it a good long while. I'm here tonight just to network and see if I can be a help to people. I have a passion for professional development. I had the honor of serving as the chair of the National PDC once upon a time, and I've been a college professor, and I've done a whole bunch of things. I'm a firm believer in developing the next generation of people because, frankly, I want to retire. So, someday we got to get people trained up to take over. So that's why I'm here tonight. Himss is a wonderful place. I've been differentially involved for many decades, and currently serve as the co-chair of the CIO Council. So that's me.
Awesome. Thanks, Arthur. He was also my professor at Brandeis.
That's why I was teasing her. She didn't mention her graduate school, which would be Brandeis.
That would be Brandeis. Thanks so much, Arthur. All right, next up is Amy Burdick. Amy, are you
She's
here?
got to turn on her video. There she is. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
Hi, Amy.
I don't know that I was really prepared for this, but here goes. Okay. So I've been in healthcare for my whole life. Started on the clinical side as a medical social worker, doing discharge planning in acute care hospitals, and then moved over to healthcare marketing and then IT when WebMD got started. That was my first entree into health IT. And so I had been on the platform implementation side in care management. And now I just recently joined Athena Health as a customer success manager. So the revenue cycle side of healthcare is somewhat new to me, at least at a granular level. So there's a lot to learn and a lot involved. And so I'm working with mostly small group of physician practices to help them optimize their use of the Athena platform, both the revenue cycle side, the clinical side, and the patient portal. So.
Great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Amy. Next up, I'm sorry, I misspelled your name, and now I'm hoping I pronounce it correctly. Dilalit Bello? You're up next.
That's correct.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Sorry about that. I misspelled it.
That's okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm actually here tonight. This is my first time. I'm a student out at, actually an online student at the UMass at Lowell. And I'm a health informatics concentration in the health information management program. And I come from a dietetics background, and I just wanted to see how I can get involved and start making some connections, because it's become very obvious to me that I need to get into the mentorship program. So that's
welcome.
Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. Next up is Dana Balai. I apologize if I also messed up your name, Dana. You're muted. Might have to double unmute.
There you go.
Yep, double unmute. Sorry about that.
Okay. No worries.
Okay, so I'm Dana Balai. I am new to the Boston area and just looking to connect with others in the healthcare industry. I've worked in healthcare for over 15 years in 3 different hospitals in both Denver and Chicago, starting off in lean process improvement, and then spent the next 10 years as an IT project manager. And then most recently, I was a director of customer success, building and scaling the team and department for a patient safety and risk management software company. So Frank and Amy would love to connect with you both as fellow CS people. I'm currently a management consultant at Arcondis, which is a global professional services company focusing exclusively on healthcare and life science industries, and addressing challenges and solving problems for clients, mostly in the areas of compliance, business processes, and information technology. So I've been in Boston for just over a week now and excited to connect and expand my network locally.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Dana.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Christian. Christian Mai.
See Christian.
Oh, did Christian drop off? Okay. All right. Then next up is Mary Bauer.
Is Mary
And
on?
Mary.
I think we have Mary.
You dropped Mary too. All right. Well, then it's Roden. Roden, are you still on?
Yes, I am still on. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we got you.
You know, with a last name that starts with Z, I'm always the last. I don't know if that's the case here, but I always start saying, you know, you save the best for last. And I think this is really true in this case.
There you go.
Kidding. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be part of this wonderful community. I am so heart-warmed with, my heart is warmed up with all of everything you guys said, because what brought me to healthcare is really the fact that this is a mission driven, that we're here to leave a better footprint after we're gone. And I think, you know, to some extent, helping someone else have a better life, better outcome, this is what it's all about. I am, I guess, relatively new to healthcare compared to many of you. I've been in healthcare for the past handful of years. I'm an electrical engineer who started becoming a product manager for an IT company, and decided that what I wanted to do was learn more about business of technology, and ended up going to MIT and studying management of innovation, management of technology. And having been in IT for some time, I ended up working for a company that was looking for someone to start their incubator. And we worked on several healthcare and life science projects. And it was really my passion. After running the incubator, one of the things I realized is I want to devote more time to healthcare. I want to be focused on it, mainly on areas of what is a next thing, what is a next technology in healthcare. And I joined the IoT practice for the system integrator that I work for. And it's interesting because everyone in the IoT practice thinks of Internet of Things. And when it comes to medical devices, when it comes to connecting patients, those are not things, those are patients. And so we started a program around virtual care, and I'm the head of strategy for that practice. It's been a very interesting journey. Telehealth, connected health, as some call it, remote patient monitoring, all of that is an area where I'm focused on. And it's been tremendous, obviously, because of COVID and all of the CMS mandate for telehealth now being reimbursable. After attending this session, I feel like I want to be a mentee. There is so much to learn, and there's so many wonderful people to learn it from. I think that would be the next thing I want to do. I want to leave it at that, I guess. This is a wonderful community. I will reach out to some of the folks. I've created a list of people I want to get in touch with. I think really this is a wonderful community to be part of. I've been a member for past couple of years. We'll hope to continue for many years to come. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Roden. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So we've come to the end of the list. Is there anybody that we've missed that wants to hop in on the fun? Anybody? No? I think we got everyone that was on the list.
If you got them.
All right. Yeah. So I just want to do a quick thank you, specifically to our sponsors who joined. Again, that would be Carl from iGel, Blue Tree Network, Dimensional Insights, George, Jillian from Connections, Ashley from Healthcare Triangle, although I think I can see Mike, he might have snuck in there. And of course, Jennifer Sue from E-Ink. We appreciate all of you jumping on. And Bob, do you want to close out?
So we have a few minutes to chat openly if people want to, but before we start that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Again, especially thank you to my friends at Himss who really helped a lot putting this together. You know, Matt and Amy tonight were instrumental, and there are tons of other people who really enabled this to happen. This was a labor of love from a number of people, and I was very pleased to be able to help organize this tonight. So thanks to everybody, but everybody that was on the call, was really great. I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing, people are already connecting, and I listened, clearly to Joanne, who did an outstanding job speaking. And I think this has really been a great culmination of this this year of webinar that we've put together. So just thanks to everybody for participating in all the events. Thanks for being willing to stand up and talk about yourself tonight and share about your company and tell people that maybe your company is hiring, or maybe that you're looking for a job. If we can get anybody to get connected tonight, then this was well worth the time and effort. So anybody have any comments they'd like to say? Please unmute yourself, and we have about 10 minutes to chat.
Yeah, any questions? You can easily put it in the chat as well if you want. If you're too shy, you shouldn't be shy at this point. If you are, that's totally fine too. And you can absolutely put your questions into the chat box.
Amy gives shy lessons. Yes, Arthur, you are 100% correct. Yes,
I heard. I was the only one to get cut off.
Not like I haven't known her for a while.
Exactly. Any questions from anyone?
Alrighty, any comments from any of our past presidents? And by the way, thanks very much for all the past presidents who showed up tonight. We have Jay, and we have Cliff and Matt, and I think I might have missed a couple. Paula was here earlier. So thanks for everybody who came.
Hi, this is Jillian.
Hey, Bob, I have a question.
Sure.
How come all of us are the last to know, or either that or we don't have analytics and artificial intelligence to put it together that Arthur and Cabby are a unit? Why are we the last to know?
Their last name is the same in it, man. I'm not sure why you didn't.
Yeah, well, but that this shows you that my machine learning is just not up to snuff.
Cliff knew it. He just has trouble putting two and two together some days.
Absolutely. So Jillian, you were going to ask a question or make a comment.
I was just going to make a comment and say kudos to all the younger folks that are on here that are stepping out and being brave and putting themselves out there for their skills and their experience and trying to network in this way. I think that's fabulous of them, because I don't know if when I was that young, if I was actually brave enough to join organizations and to actually be that strong in putting myself out there. So good job, folks. Good job.
Yeah, it's very scary. So yeah, great comment, Jillian. Thank you.
And I'll make another comment on that. There were a few people on this call tonight that I won't highlight who initially said, I don't want to be on camera. And I said, are you sure? And at least one of them participated and did an amazing job. And actually two people that I can think of right now did that. And so Jillian,
I think you're talking about me.
I might be. You might be one of them.
Yes.
There might be somebody else on the list too.
Yes, you personally wrote back to me when I said I was not into participating, and I really have to put it out to the rest of you who are very skeptical. It's say yes, not know what kind of opportunities open up for you, and it feels so good, being able to network despite COVID. To bounce off ideas, it's amazing. Just say yes to all opportunities. Do not lose anything. Thank you, Bob.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome.
Thanks, Mahalakshmi. That's great.
I guess I can also add, thank you, Bob. I was the other person who wasn't gonna participate.
The truth comes out.
You might be another one, Sarah. There's a third on the list, but I won't mention names, but that's okay. It's okay.
Bob, I actually might have somebody who wants to now. Probably because Mahalakshmi was really giving that push for people to say yes.
Good.
So
go.
Why don't we put the spotlight on Nancy Howard? There we go.
Hi, Bob. You did make me feel guilty. Sorry.
You're fine.
I must say, well, I'll finish with the other part. My name is Nancy Howard. I have been a physical therapist for decades and recently graduated from UMass Lowell with a health informatics and management degree. So I believe there was another person on here that could, I gladly talk to, who's in that program now. I was shy about coming on here, not only for the reason that you all mentioned, but also I had an interview earlier today, which was fantastic. It's an opportunity for a fellowship. But going through that process earlier was very draining. So I just didn't know if I could do it twice in one day.
Yeah.
But I also am a Husky. I went to Northeastern for my physical therapy degree, and I'm also a participant in the mentorship program as a mentee. So it's been a wonderful experience, and I can't thank all of you enough for connecting and helping me out in different ways. It's been a wonderful experience as I change my career path.
Awesome. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming and coming onto camera, I mean.
Is there anybody else that didn't participate that would like to say hello?
No pressure.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
I'm not going to call on names.
Yeah.
I promise.
Hi, this is Marie Cloutier.
Again?
I had actually sent a note saying that I wanted to be taken off of the list for people who are going to do the stand-up, but I guess that didn't get through, and I'm glad that it didn't, because I'm glad I got a chance to talk.
I apologize, Marie, that I didn't see that.
That's all right. I sent it late.
But it's I guess I'm not sorry, because you did a great job.
Thank you.
And
He deleted it. He may have, as a matter of
it's unlikely. It's unlikely. But since 4 o'clock this afternoon, I've been heads down. I think I sent four separate lists to Amy and Matt as new people kept on coming on, and we had a couple of switch pinch hitters that came on as well. So we have another 5 minutes left. Did anybody else want to say anything? Otherwise, I'll. So I don't know if Jay Tolchinsky is still on, but I did want to do a shout out to Jay, because we haven't seen Jay in a very long time.
Looks like Jay's still on.
It was absolutely fantastic to see Jay on camera tonight, back participating with New England Hymns. So Jay, thanks so much for coming back. We really do appreciate it. The past presidents has been an amazing group of people that have really supported this organization for a very long time, and it's wonderful to have so many still actively involved. It's been a pleasure. So
awesome.
Amy, any last words?
Bob, you might just want to also mention that the networking list will come out, and just tell people what's in it, because I'm just paying attention to some of the chat.
So I didn't see the chat, Arthur, so thanks very much. So if you signed up to be on the networking list, it will come out next week. Basically, it's going to be, and by the way, if you signed up and want to change your mind, or you didn't sign up and want to change your mind, that's fine too. I will actually include the email to send it to in a second. Actually, just send it to my So that's my email. So the networking list is basically going to be a list of everybody that joined tonight that said, I'm willing to network. So if you didn't opt out, and basically opting out, this came actually and said yes. So a little weird way to write it, but it's how it came out. We will share your information that you shared with us, which will be the email that you shared, the phone number if you shared one, information about how long you've been in the business, whether or not, what kind of role you have, if you're mid-tier or senior or junior or whatever, how long you've been in the business, what your title is, and if you have an employer, we'll share all that information. And so anybody that wants to network, Feel free to send me a note that says you want to be added to the list. If you are now having second thoughts and don't want to be added to the list, that's fine. Just send me a note and we'll remove you. But it does have a fair number of people in it. And I think everybody can see tonight that networking is really the name of the game in terms of expanding the opportunities. I can tell you that for me personally, about 22 years ago, I started my career path getting into health IT, met about 7 different people who finally connected me to this small little company called Health Vision, where I had the pleasure of meeting Arthur and Cabby before they were married, by the way. That was where I started my career in health IT, but it was only because I started asking people after going to New England Himss meetings and saying, how the hell do I get into this business? And
we said, stop pestering us, show up at this address.
Pretty much. Sioux Squall, you hired me, Arthur. You know.
Yeah, so I know.
So.
All right. Thanks so much, Bob. This is such a great event. I just want to remind folks, if you haven't seen our campaign, I would like you to know that we have our spring conference coming up May 11th through the 13th. If you can go to our website, I actually put it in the chat, ne.himmschapter.org. The spring conference, again, May 11th through the 13th. Many of our wonderful sponsors who are on here will be featured there. Many of the committee members you also saw tonight will be there. So another great networking opportunity. Again, it'll be virtual, but it's a great opportunity to continue the conversation and take the lessons that you learned from today on how to network and apply it there. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We hope you all have a wonderful night and wonderful meeting many of you. All right, take care.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
again.
Enjoyed it.